I know, me too.
So, anyway, it is coming. It's getting better. It's getting
Yep.
better. So, we are in March. We are in countdown season to the Masters. Um,
I already started to count down.
okay, do you know the what are the number of days? I started to do this morning and I got distracted. I think we are uh, 33 days from the Masters.
That's incredible.
Yeah, 33 days from the Masters.
Yeah, because, well, today's the 8th, 7th, yeah.
Yep, 9th,
So
9th
33
April.
days, yep.
Yep. So it absolutely is getting to be spring, no doubt about that, and so we're awfully glad for that. A lot of things starting to happen in Utah golf,
Yes.
and you say that with quite a lilt. You sat
I
up
know.
straight, had a
I'm
big
very,
smile.
I
What are you
know.
thinking?
Well, I'm very excited. Winter Champs is coming.
Winter Champs is next
and then
week.
tournament season's
Yep.
coming. So it's just a lot of Utah golf. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no kidding, right? We will be at Copper Rock next week for Winter Champs. Winter Champs is being contested at Copper Rock and Sun River. So we will be down at Copper Rock next week with Winter Champs, and we'll be doing the show from there, and then of course have a full report on the website. Pardon me, I meant to say on the podcast following that. We've got um, we've got European Tour, DP World Tour on the TV here in the studio, and so I'm distracted a little
Why?
bit.
I thought at 7:30 it was supposed to show the Puerto Rico Open.
Well, it's on the Golf Channel, and right now it is not showing the Puerto
Well,
Rico
they need
Open.
to figure that out.
But we, yeah,
Of
Golf
course,
Channel.
I almost think if it comes on, we're gonna lose you.
Okay, that's a valid concern to have.
Yeah.
Look, I have a decades-long history of being easily distracted, and particularly by golf or baseball on TV.
Mhm.
It's just my kids will tell you that yeah, dad will check out pretty quick. So we're struggling with that, but it is what it is. So we need to note that we are being brought to you this first hour by Salt Lake City Golf at slcgolf.com. Check them out on the website or the app. You can get that wherever you get your apps. You make tee times. Courses are
certainly
open.
can.
You certainly can, yeah. And should note that the season passes are, of course, available now. And they have a new indoor facility, new simulator facility in the dance hall at Forestdale. We will be coming to you from that in future weeks. We haven't quite got that scheduled, but we will go over there and check it out, tell you all about it, and it will be an awful lot of fun to get you up to speed on that. We are powered, as always, by T-Box at tbx.golf, where they have cracked the code on the whole golfer experience, the clubs, coaching, and community. Check them out at tbx.golf. Get yourself down to a T-Box, folks. All right, Jan.
Yes.
Springtime is college golf season, and the colleges in Utah have been heading out, and they've been busy and active, and so far nobody's made a lot of noise.
Yeah, not so much.
But let's take a few minutes and just talk about how the college teams are doing, the different ones around the state, and
We can start with BYU ladies.
let's start with the BYU women.
So they went to the Lady Luck Invitational. They did finish. Their team finished 12th, but MJ Barragan led the Cougars with a T15 and a second round under par finish, one under finish. So she ended up shooting really, really, really well. So she ended up, like I say, she is one of their horses anyway. So we
No,
know that.
she is their team leader,
Yeah.
straight up.
So that's not unsurprising there, but it's nice to see that. Their next stop is the Betsy Rollins Longhorn Invitational. What is that?
Well, it is a tournament they play down
They
in
play in
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
So
It's some of these are so funny. The next one is my favorite. The next one is my favorite funny one. Let's talk about Ashley Lamb
okay,
at Westminster. She was just at the Tim Tierney shootout. The team finished 11th. Ashley led the team and she finished number 8 with these scores: 70, 72, and 72.
Okay.
So she finished, excuse me, 70, 72, and 70. So she finished 2 under. When she started the tournament, she went par, birdie, par, birdie, par, birdie, par, birdie. It was a funny looking card. But
No, that sounds great.
okay, now
to
here,
me.
here's the thing. Ready? Their next stop is the Big Freeze Penguin Invitational.
Okay. You want to?
No, I just wanted to say it.
You wanted to say it.
Because we were
I
talking
see.
about these
Okay.
very interesting names for tournaments, and that
Okay.
the Big Freeze Penguin could be the winner.
Okay. Before we completely leave BYU women, one thing I do want to note is that MJ Barragon has been the low cougar. She has
Mhm.
led the team each of the tournaments this spring. And remember, we were down at Copper Rock a few weeks ago for the play-in tournament that they held at Copper Rock for a pro and an amateur to play their way into the Epson Tour event at Copper Rock that we will be to in a few weeks here. And MJ Barragon won
Yep.
the amateur side of that as well. She is playing really well this spring. She is absolutely a player to keep your eye on, and has been leading the BYU Cougars women's team this year at every tournament. So, something of note there
Yeah, it's been
for the BYU. Okay, and then so let's continue our path. The Westminster women, led by Ashley Lamb, a local player, played at Rowan Hall in high school, and now is making her way and leading the way for the Westminster Griffins for the women. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, Weaver State. They were there's actually the SUU, Utah Tech, Weaver State, and Utah Valley are all at the Thunderbird this weekend. And so day one results yesterday. Let's go with Weaver State. They are team. They're in second place on the team, and Braylon Bayer is solo second with -2. So she's doing some work up there.
Nice. In the mix, solo second, and that is really good.
Yeah. So and the rest of them are just moving along.
Oh, you got some scores there?
Let's see. Utah Valley day one is 6th. Utah Tech is 5th. SUU is 8th. Westminster not in it. Weaver is number 2.
Okay, so Weaver State leading the way among the women's teams from Utah in the Thunderbird.
Then Utah Tech, then Utah Valley.
Okay.
Boys, men,
The men.
the men.
Okay. Let's start with BYU.
Okay.
Part of the story here is that this week BYU is without Kihei Akina. Now, Kihei has been leading the way for the Cougars this spring and last fall as well. He has become a top 10 machine in the college tournaments that BYU is playing, which it surprises no one. And if anything, if there is a surprise in any way, is that would any of us be shocked that Kihei would have won by now already so early as a freshman in his college career? And the answer to that, of course, is no. But he has been playing his way into the top 10 tournament after tournament after tournament. Very impressive work from Kihei. Kihei is currently playing in a PGA Tour event, his third. He's played in 2 events at Black Desert, and then, of course, now he's in Puerto Rico, opposite field event on the PGA Tour.
Now, how did he get into this?
He qualified for it with a win in a college tournament. Now I can't remember which
Oh no,
college tournament
you
it was.
knew I
but
was going to ask you.
But he played his way in with a win in a college.
Randy's going to text us in a minute.
Randy will be on top, and I just contradicted myself by saying he hadn't won yet. So we will.
So yes, he did win. He played his way in.
He
And
played his way in.
And yeah, I guess we can wait to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kihei more later.
We'll talk about Kihei more in the Utah in the UPOT update.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, that is.
The Weaver State men are doing well as well as the Weaver State women. Goodness, they're at the HCU Invitational. They are 4th place for a team, and Matthew Wilson is T7 -1 after a first round. They got to go to Torrey Pines next.
I know the schedule that the Utes have this spring
It's
is
so
just
incredible.
great golf course after
Mhm.
great golf course after great golf course. So
Yep.
it's really, so yeah, so again, kind of the theme through the spring so
I
far.
think they're
in-
just warming up.
let's.
I
That's
feel
what
like
I hope.
Yeah, I just feel like they're just shaking off the cobwebs and the dust from the winter, and they just need to get back into it.
Yeah, because
Because we see these all these players that we're talking about, they're really good, and we usually have something to talk about all the time with almost all of them, but right now they're just kind of idle.
stuck in neutral.
Mhm.
Not losing any ground, not
No.
making up much ground. As it stands right now in the national rankings, the University of Utah Utes are number 24, so a top 25
Mhm.
ranking. And so I think this team is better than that. But so far they haven't really got in gear and engaged with it. BYU is currently ranked number 30 in the nation.
Mm.
And so again, a top tier team,
Mhm.
but not in the very top. And so both of these teams, I think, have potential to make a lot of noise and to make a run in the postseason. But so far, both these teams have not fully lived to and played to their potential. So I hope you're right, Jan. I hope it's a matter of them getting into gear as we get closer into the conference,
Mhm.
regional, national sequence of events. We're still a good solid
Yeah,
month and a
we're-
half away from that. There's time.
Exactly. And I'm not worried. I mean, these kids have come through consistently every year, and maybe it takes maybe it might be a little late start, but they all seem to come through, and when they finished last year, they all did so well, and they made history.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on. Who do you have next?
Utah Tech.
Okay.
They were at the Wyoming Desert. The team finished eighth. Ashton MacArthur finished. This is crazy to me. He finished 11th,
Okay.
but with a -6. So they were playing
Making
golf out
birdies,
there. They
yeah.
were making birdies out there. So congratulations to Ashton MacArthur there with that -6.
And no huge surprise to see Ashton MacArthur stepping up and doing well. He's done so in a number of different tournaments. When you look at Utah Tech, you think in terms of David Lichty.
Right.
He is their number one. He is their horse. We know this.
Mhm.
But Ashton MacArthur is asserting himself as well.
Well, and Ashton is currently beating David. in the
Yes, he
tournament.
is.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
he is.
there's that. The next stop for them is they get to go to Bandon Dunes. So they're going, Utah Tech, Utah Valley is going as well. Paxton Maxwell finished, they were at the Watney. The team finished 12th. Paxton finished T7 with a +1. But again, Paxton we expect a lot out of him. So
Yeah, and that I do want to pause on Paxton. I was not sure going into this season if Paxton would step up and be the guy. He had yet to do that, but he has. He has stepped into the role of the team leader, and he is playing well and playing like the team leader.
yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep.
Let's see. And we've got SUU and Utah State are headed to the Jackrabbit Invitational next. Let's see what else. I think that's all I have there.
All right.
We could talk more about because we could spend 20 minutes on that.
Well, let's go to a UPod update,
Okay.
and in that we will talk more about Kihei. How about a little UPod update? The UPod update brought to us by our good friends at Scott Golf. Check them out, scottgolf.com. This Utah club, this Utah product is so sweet. Such a nice golf club. It feels so good. Ball off the club in your hand. You will love your Scott clubs. I love mine.
I love mine.
Scottgolf.com. Dan, how are the UPods doing?
All right, well, let's back up to last week at the Cognizant Classic. Jimmy Stanger finished T22 -6, 278 on rounds of 69, 68, 65, and 76.
We include,
That got him.
yeah. So Stanger, of course, an honorary UPOT as a kid, spent his summers in Utah. He
John
was
P- he was a
in the
John Pecor.
mix. He was, yeah, a John
Pecor
Pecor
product,
student.
yeah.
Uh-huh. He was in the mix through Sunday, but
Wow.
just blew up on Sunday. He was second to last group, and poised to really do something significant, and did not capitalize on the experience. He's in the mix again this week, as we will hear in a moment. And the question will be, how does Jimmy Stanger do on the weekend?
Exactly. So Patrick Fishburne finished T40 minus 4, 280 on rounds of 73, 68, 69, and 70. So Patrick's having some troubles.
Yeah?
He's having a couple weeks of trouble, and we'll go into that right now. They are at the Puerto Rico Open right now. Zach Blair sits T19 minus 5, 139 on rounds of 71 and 68. Now, I was watching this, and I was watching it, and all of a sudden I see Zach Blair in solo third. Then I see him, they had the little thing on the board, the 5 or 6 best top scores on the bottom right-hand corner of the box.
Called a leaderboard.
Well, I just think leaderboard's bigger, but it's a leaderboard
Okay.
down. It's a mini leaderboard down here.
All right.
So I kept seeing Zach Blair, and then all of a sudden it blinked, and I didn't see him. I was like, oh, Zach must have got a double bogey somewhere.
Well, he just made 2 bogeys coming down the
Yeah.
stretch.
So that was kind of rough. So so Zach, Patrick Fishburne missed the cut. He missed the cut with the plus 6, 150, 77, and 73.
And the question was raised, what's wrong with Patrick? So I've been in touch with Patrick's friend and agent, Rob Despain, and said, look, is Patrick okay? Is he hurt? Is there anything going on there? Rob replied, golf is hard.
Yeah.
And we know this,
Mhm.
okay? And it's just Patrick's having a hard time. He's working
Well,
on making
it's
some
not going to
changes.
be. He's not going to be in the top 10 every single
No,
tournament.
and not make every cut.
Right.
But the point there is nothing to worry about, just an off week. Okay, that's fine. We have off weeks. Now, in the context, though, I do want to mention
Exactly.
that last week Patrick had a T14 in the Seminole Pro Member. Seminole Pro Member, of course, this one-day member guest event, team between a touring pro, a PGA Tour pro, and a member at Seminole, the legendary golf course, this legendary, almost mythical event, the Seminole or Pro Member, it attracts the top tier
That's so
of
crazy.
touring pros worldwide, and it is just such a great event. They purposely do not
Like I
allow
said,
it to be broadcast or anything like that.
Because this would be huge.
Of course,
People
it
would be
would
trying to get into that all day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, it's a great event. It was won this year by the team of Rory McIlroy and his father Jerry.
Not fair. He's a member.
Mr. McIlroy is a member, and he brings his son in. And, his son's a pretty good player, I
Yeah.
hear.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, pretty good that Patrick got a T14 in the Seminole Pro Member. So that's pretty cool there.
And then we talked about Jimmy. Jimmy, our honorary UPOT, he is currently sitting T7 minus 7, 137 on a round of 70 and 67. And this is back-to-back weeks for him to be in the mix.
Back-to-back weeks, top 10 after the first two rounds. Now the question is, Jimmy, can you deliver on the weekend? We will see.
Okay. And then Kihei. Kihei sits T12 minus 6, 138 on a round of 68 and 70. And I watched his round yesterday. He missed that par. If he would have had 2 rounds in the 60s.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just missed that little par. And then there was the hole before that where it hung on the edge, and it was just a blow in, not a tap in. It was crazy. That would have given him a birdie.
So, a tweet from Kirk Craigthorpe. Kihei Akina played his way in to this tournament by winning a California tournament last summer. I don't know what it was. I missed that. But
Yesterday, Kihei was the featured group on Golf Channel, so I don't know if anyone watched that or not, but I got to watch him play the whole day.
that's really cool.
I mean, don't tell anybody that's what I was doing.
That's what when you should have been working.
Whoops.
So anyway, Kihei officially a sponsor's exemption, but the exemption was given to the winner of a tournament in California. We'll find out what that is. But so Kihei in the field and making the best of it, the most of it. He makes the weekend and is in striking distance. So watch for Kihei on the Golf Channel broadcast of this opposite field event in Puerto Rico. This is an event that Tony Finau won.
Yep.
And kick-started his career. This actually was Tony's first win on
Yep.
the PGA Tour. And yeah, well, it was a few years later, but anyway, this was Tony's first win on the PGA Tour a few years ago. This also same scenario for Victor Hovland.
I was just gonna say Victor Hovland.
Yeah,
won
this
too.
was Victor Hovland's
Yeah.
first win.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So that's one thing to keep your eye on this weekend is Kihei Akina
Oh,
in
Could you
Puerto
even
Rico.
imagine him just for fun?
That would be so
Oh,
cool.
it'd be
So cool.
crazy. Then you
Um,
have to go back to school.
Well, he would be left with a choice, would he
Yeah.
not?
No, he would go
this is
on
what you
tour.
see. Yep.
That's how it is. Okay, so let's go to Corn Ferry. They were at the 119 Visa Argentina Open. We already mentioned Peter missed the cut last week. Taylor Montgomery did finish T4, get this, minus 18, 262 on rounds of 69, 62, 68, and 62. He didn't fall apart on Sunday. He didn't fall apart on Sunday.
That
He
is so
did
good.
it,
That is
so-
so good. Finished strong on a Sunday. Go Taylor. We're proud of you.
Yep. So Peter Quest is currently at the Star Chili Classic. He did miss the cut, minus 141 on rounds of 72 and 69. And another mystery, Preston Summerhays also missed the cut, plus 146 on set rounds of 73 and 73.
Mystery indeed.
Mhm.
These two, both of these players, I cannot make the math work.
No.
How it is that these two players are struggling in the way they are, but they are. Shoot. Okay, very good. All right, we need a little Jet X jug. The Jet X Jug, our backdoor fantasy game that we play here at the Utah Golf Radio, and it is where we are identifying the three players who will barely make the FedEx Cup playoffs. So we're looking for the top 70. You get 1 point for each position they finish at the end of the year, up to and including number 70, 71 and beyond. Jan, what do you get?
They did nothing.
Nothing, not a nil, no points. We are being led by our own Zach Robinson. Zach, our producer on the show. Congratulations, early leader, Zach. How you feeling? Already. How you feeling, dude?
Oh, look at all those points. That's why.
Yep, you got.
Oh, snap. Somebody else.
You've got a team of Austin Smotherman,
22 points.
a first tee kid. I like this.
Mhm.
Tony Finau, our own,
51 points.
and Zach Boucher.
66 points.
Nice. All right, Zach. We'll see how it holds on. It's a volatile game, man.
I need Michael Brennan to come to the table on this tournament because I'm going to get some points.
Well, yeah. Okay, you'll get some points.
I'm
All
in
right.
second and third. That's pretty dope.
Okay.
I have
nice.
little to no points. That means everybody else has to get going.
Yeah, so far, most people are not scoring points. They've got players who are outside the top 70 so far. You can enter by going to UtahGolfRadio.com. Follow the obvious buttons for the Jet X Jug. It is free to play and a lot of fun. Be sure you play the Jet X Jug with us. All right, we need to send some love to the Mountain America Credit Union Player of the Week, presented by Fairways Magazine. Utah Valley's, we were talking a little college golf earlier. Utah Valley's Chloe Yang is this week's Mountain America Credit Union Player of the Week. She was solo second at the West Texas Classic in Abilene, firing a second round 6 under 64 to record the lowest single round in UVU women's golf history. Go Chloe Yang, you are the Mountain America Credit Union Player of the Week, presented by Fairways Magazine. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we will be talking with Robert MacArthur about his induction into the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Yeah. Utah Golf Radio, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. Paul and Jan in studio with you today. We are in the mothership. We are brought to you this first hour by Salt Lake City Golf at slcgolf.com or the Salt Lake City Golf app. You can go there to make tee times or to get your season passes for any of the great Salt Lake City golf courses. And we are powered as always by T-Box at tbx.golf. Get yourself to a T-Box. Check it out where they have cracked the code on the whole golfer experience with clubs, coaching, and community. T-Box, where you want to be. I am so pleased to say that we are joined now by the great Robert MacArthur, an inaugural member of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. Induction ceremonies coming up later this month. Robert, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
We're so doing great, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us. Robert, there's so many things to talk about as we want to review and celebrate your career, your years of service in the game in Utah that brought you to this point of being part of the inaugural class of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. But I want to make it personal to start with. I want to go back to where you and I knew each other as young guys in St. George.
Yep.
I was a freshman at what was then a junior college, what was then Dixie State College. You, a local guy, and we became friends back in the day. Who would have thunk, Robert? Here we are.
Yeah.
You're in the Hall of Fame.
70s, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 79 was the year or 77, pardon, and then 79, both. But anyway, here we are. Wow, what a path. What a journey. What's it like for you, Robert? We think back on those days decades ago, and now you're being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So cool.
Well, I don't know, great memories, and great people have crossed paths with me, and I've crossed paths with great people, and so it's just blessed my life. So that's all I can say.
Well, let's talk about that. These great people. Yes, they crossed your path, and yes, they're great people. There's some names in particular we want to talk about, but it's not by accident that you have had such a. We talk about this sometimes, the coaching tree, and then they do this in the NFL especially, where let's take Belichick for example, and when you look at the people who were his assistants who went on to become head coaches, went on to become Super Bowl winners themselves, and have great careers themselves. Your coaching tree, your equivalent there, your pro tree, is astonishing. But let's go back to the very beginning and set up why it is you were able to do this, because you spent 39 years as the head golf professional at Riverside Country Club. Let's start with how you got that gig, man. Tell us about what led to you starting this great career at Riverside.
Well, I guess I have to start from the very beginning. I was 12 years old and started. Dixie Red Hills was 2 months old, and Gene Schneider gave me my first job, and I was shining shoes and cleaning clubs and picking up range balls. And it was pretty quiet down there at the time, so a lot of times I'd just be working in the shop while the adults went and played golf. So it was a lot for them to do. But Brenda Orchard, so I owe a lot to the Schneider family, because they really indoctrinated me into the golf. And Gene's father, Ernie Sr., he built Dixie Red Hills, and I was actually playing golf with him. I was 13 years old when I made my first eagle on number 9 at Dixie Red Hills, and you would have won the lottery or something. So.
Let's pause there for a minute. Did you jar one from the fairway? Did you work it up around the corner onto the green? What'd you do?
No. I wasn't. I hit one from the fairway.
Okay.
Probably like a 7-iron or something like that. I wasn't that old. I was Anyway, but yeah, so I owe a lot to the Schneiders. They're like family, really close family to me. Anyway,
Nice.
and to my whole brother from Reed. But Brent Orchard actually started giving myself and my classmate from high school, Kim Hepler,
Uh-huh.
whose brother Bruce was coach at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
Gave Kim and I golf lessons and took us under his wing, and that's kind of how we got started. And played a lot of junior golf in southern Utah, played team matches, and with it was just Dixie, Cedar, Beaver, and Richfield, and we'd play, anyway, team matches going around and played in the golf tournaments. Anyway, so then Gene decided he wanted to go back to being a superintendent, which was his expertise. And so he, in 1968, I think they started building Bloomington Country Club, and I went down with Gene and watered all Bloomington Country Club from scratch behind the seeding machine. I watered it all
Oh, wow.
myself. And I had a couple of cousins, Stan MacArthur and John MacArthur, that we were just watering this, moving those quick couplers as fast as we could, just so the seed didn't blow away. Anyway, I was there for several years, and then I went back up and worked for John LeGant at Dixie Red Hills.
Uh-huh.
He took Gene's place and worked for him, and then he was building Lava Hills, and so I spent a lot of time, virtually almost running Dixie Red Hills for a lot of the time, because he was busy. He was still employed by the city and everything, but he was busy building Lava Hills. And then when he left Lava Hills to go to Dixie Red Hills to go to Lava Hills, they opened up the job, and he ended up hiring Brent Orchard, and I worked for Brent for a couple of years. And I decided to go back to school. I thought, well, maybe this is a dead end. I hadn't been, been 4 years since I finished at Dixie. So in the winter of 1980, January 1980, I came up to BYU for a couple of weeks, and I hadn't been in school for a while, and so it was kind of hard transition. But while I was up here, Jimmy Thompson called me. Jimmy was the pro Tri-City, and he always called me Bobby. He says, "Bobby, you want to come to work for me while you're going to school?" And I said, "Yes." So then I lasted about 2 weeks at BYU, because it just didn't work. Wasn't where my mind was. Anyway, so I talked to Jimmy, and he turned that into a full-time position, and so I worked in 1980. I started full-time March 1st, 1980, working with Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there for 6 years, and had a great experience working for Jimmy, and did a lot of things, and learned a lot of things,
And Tri-City, of
I-
course, is what we now know as Fox Hollow.
yeah, and in 1984, I'd applied for a bunch of jobs and seemed like a finished runner-up for a bunch of them. But anyway, in 1984, Chip Garris left Riverside Country Club, and they opened the job up, so I applied over there. And the job, I was one of the final two with John Geertsen.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up hiring John. Of course, he was a name, I mean, he's a great teacher and stuff out of the Pebble Beach area, and worked with Mike Reed, and his father was a great golf professional at Alpine. And anyway, so they gave it to John, and anyway, so John was there a couple of years, and then he decided to leave, and I got I got a phone call one day. There's a little bit more of a story to this. A couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks prior to this, Craig Norman called me on the phone, and he says, "Robert, I need to ask you some questions. I need your opinion on a couple of things." And I said, "Look," he says, "come on over." And so he came over to my house one evening, and he said, "John Geertsen's offered me the assistant's job at Riverside." At the time, Craig was working for his uncle, Sonny,
Mm-hmm.
at Springville, Hobble Creek. And we talked and stuff, and said it's a full-time job. And I said, well, I says, Craig, I said, I know you're talented and you're qualified to do a lot of things and very knowledgeable in the golf business. I said, as long as you're working for your uncle, people might think you got the job because he's your uncle, not because of any of your qualifications. So I said, if I were you, I'd go to Riverside and kind of branch out and do your own thing. Anyway, so Craig left, and I don't know what he hadn't known what he decided. And about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from Carl Tallman and Bob Moody, Chris's dad.
Right.
Carl was the president, and he says, Robert, John's decided to go back to California. He wants to go back to Pebble Beach and do his golf schools. And he says, well, we don't want to go through interviews, and you are part of some of our picks to start with. Would you come over, and would you like to come be our pro? So I said, sure. He said, well, come over and meet with our board next week. So I went over and met with them, and they said everybody was in agreement, and they said there's only one dilemma. He says, John's offered the assistant pro job to Craig Norman, but you can make your own decisions. And I says, that's not a decision. I've made that. I said, Craig would be the one I would have picked.
Yeah.
And so Craig and I actually started the same day, April 1st, 1986 at Riverside.
Son of a gun.
I was there for 33 years. I was at Tri-City for 6.
Okay,
and then
so
I came over to
so
Riverside.
still 33 years at Riverside. That is quite a record, quite an accomplishment there. So, 84. How old would you have been then? You were not 30 yet.
1984, 31.
30. Okay, 31. All right. Still, pretty young to get a job of that stature, being head pro at Riverside Country Club. Did you have a sense from the beginning that it would become the job you'd have the rest of your career?
Not at all. Not at all, because it wasn't. I mean, Billy Corns, who was the pro there for about 13 years prior to him retiring and Chip Garris getting the job, but Billy was there like 13 years, and I thought, and it might have been a few more than that, but I always thought if I could keep this job as long as Billy Corns had it, I'd be a success. And I didn't look that far ahead. It was like I just got to work hard and do my job and keep my nose clean, and hopefully this will all work out, because I'd really never worked at a private club, just public golf courses. And Bloomington Country Club was kind of private at that time, but it wasn't. It was newly starting out, so it wasn't like Riverside. And anyway, I got to work with Parley Peterson, who was our general manager, and Parley was the first GM down in St. George of Bloomington. So I'd known Parley since I was 14, 15 years old, so we had a good relationship. And
that is cool. Yeah.
Just another mentor along the way, you know.
Yeah, that is.
And I just fell into a good situation.
Well, a good situation indeed, but you also took full advantage of it. You made it even better, and I want to talk about that for a quick minute before we've got to let you go. Let's go back to Craig Norman. You had a remarkable run of events with the assistants that you chose, that you hired, and would have hired in Craig's case, as you just explained. But with Craig Norman, Kent McComb, and Chris Moody, these are names we know. In each case, they were assistants under your direction, and as assistants, they earned recognition from the Utah Section PGA as Assistant Pro of the Year while working for you. And then each of them became in turn head professionals, and in those roles, each has been recognized as the Golf Professional of the Year by the Utah Section PGA. That is a remarkable run of events for those three pros to win both awards, and to do so under your tutelage as part of your coaching tree, your pro tree there. What does that mean to you, and how did you make that happen?
Well, I'm not really sure how I made that happen. I always I was the lucky one, really, on the receiving end of having some great young men come work for me. Craig was with me for 7 years, and Kent was with me for 13 years, 15 years, can't remember, and Chris was with me for 15, and And besides that, I have like Carl Saras, who's the pro at Williston Center Club, worked for me. He started with me. Jake Wyatt, who is at has Black Diamond Golf Academy, but he started out in the badge room with me. And then I had besides that, I just had great people work for me. I mean, Darren Overson. Darren was like a son to me. He started with me when he was 15 years old, and somehow he knew Craig, and Craig introduced us. And I mean, Darren, even up until when I left 7 years ago, if I needed some help, I could call Darren, and Darren would virtually drop everything he would do and come and help. But we just he just kind of made it fun. We tried to keep it so it wasn't high stress. Just enjoy the people and treat everybody the same, and do your best, and we'll get through this. Well, I'll tell you, I can't say enough about. I wish I could name all the people all the kids, and I call them kids because not all of them are young necessarily, but great guys that worked for me and gals.
Yeah.
I mean, the Archibalds. A lot of people were I was very, very blessed to be involved with them and have them in my life.
It is a remarkable career, a remarkable string of accomplishments, and it all comes back down to the mentoring that you provided, the string of people that you have tutored and raised along the way, helped them with their careers along the way. I think that this is an absolutely earned and appropriate honor for you to be in the inaugural class of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. And I just want to say very quickly, over the years, all of my experiences and interactions with Riverside Country Club are positive. I've never been a member there, but I have always been treated with just absolute professionalism along the way. Robert, I think that reflects on you, and I'm so looking forward to being there and seeing you inducted into the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. Congratulations, my friend. This is well earned and really great thing.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very humbled. I don't feel I belong with all those great names that are alongside me up there, but because those are my mentors. I mean, I've got Jimmy and Jeff Beaudry and Doug Sylvan and Scott Whitaker. They're all great friends, and we're wonderful mentors and people I look up to. So it's just pass it along. That's the way it works in the golf things. You just pass it along and do your best.
Pass it along, and that's what you've done. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for your time, Paul. Have a great day.
You too. That is Robert MacArthur, member of the inaugural class of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. Very cool, Tim.
Yes,
This is
very
a good man. Holy cow, what a great golf professional.
I like that when he said that he doesn't feel like he should be up there with these other people. But
Yeah.
it's just, but look at all the people that he mentored, that he was their mentor.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just vast. Look at all. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, all of the people that we know now are part of Robert.
They trace back to Robert.
Yep,
Yeah. I've known Robert, like we noted, since we were kids. We were very young men, and I don't disagree with him much, and don't do it lightly. But on that last point he made, I do disagree. I think he belongs there.
He does.
He belongs there.
Absolutely.
All right. We got to take a break, and we come back on the other side. Little things and stuff with Mike Alleman of Uinta Golf. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. things and stuff. Brought to us by You Into Golf here on Utah Golf Radio, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. This first hour of the show is presented by Salt Lake City Golf at slcgolf.com or the app, wherever you get your apps, where you can make tee times and score a season pass. Go do it. We are powered, as always, by T-Box at tbx.golf. Get yourself to a T-Box. You will enjoy the experience. We are joined now by Mike Alleman from You Into Golf. Mike, your spring catalog is out, baby. Everything under the sun. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Tell us all about the spring catalog.
Yeah, spring is here. We're springing forward tomorrow. Weather's looking like it's going to take a turn for the warmer starting next week, and people are getting itchy to play some golf. And, so yeah, catalogs should be hitting your homes if you're on our mailing address list fairly soon. I don't know exactly when, but we have a digital version out, and it's highlighting. I mean, it's 36 pages of everything head to toe of items that we carry in the store. Good chunk of it, the first part of it is all the new club releases, many of them which we've talked about on the show prior. At least we tried to on all the new releases and things like that. So pretty much everything from TaylorMade Ping, Callaway, Titleist, Cobra, Cleveland, even Earl putters, and anything else I'm missing too is on that probably first third of the catalog. One thing I think I've mentioned briefly on the show before, Titleist drivers and fairway woods recently had a price drop, and it's a big one. Drivers went from $649.99 to $449.99, so a $200 savings on their current driver. They do have a new driver coming in the next couple of months, but for right now, it's a great deal on the new Titleist driver.
Wow, that is great. I've been going through this catalog, and I've been trying to think, what do I talk to him about? And really, what I want to do, Mike, can I just get one of each?
Yes. That'll run you quite a tab, Paul.
Okay, it might do that, but it does raise the question with so many, not only products, but really product lines, with so many categories that are represented in this catalog. Where do you find that people spend most of their attention? What's bringing people into the store? What are they doing when they get there?
It just depends. For most people, it's how long have you had your current set of clubs, and what's the focus of area in your game that needs attention, and where can the equipment help? So it just depends on the person, and we see a lot of people, maybe they're just coming in for irons, or maybe this year is the year for the driver for them, or this year is the year of the putter for me. So it just depends on the area of the game that needs most attention.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Jan, you are good at shopping.
I'm currently doing it right now.
You've got skills. I'm interested in what gets your attention.
Well, I need new shoes. But here's the problem. I have to buy junior shoes. I'd love to buy some women's shoes, but they just don't fit me. But I love everything. I mean, are you kidding me? They have everything right now, and because you have all the new patterns and prints and all that other stuff out as well. So it's just new releases of things are good.
So patterns and prints implies apparel.
Apparel.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very much an apparel person.
Yes.
Do you get a lot of traffic on that in the store?
We're seeing an increase in apparel for sure, especially ladies apparel, and for all, I think is like the biggest surprise to me that I've seen so many ladies coming in and checking out new drops on the For All brand, which is a Utah brand.
Utah company, yeah.
Utah company.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of apparel attention as well.
That is really great.
And you do have an incredible inventory, so get down to a Uinta and check it all out and try it out. But you know, I'm a little bit needing of a putter too, but I'm having a hard time because I love my putter so much. I just can't part with
Well,
it.
if you love your putter, why are you in need of a new one? What are you getting at?
Well, she's like 12 years old.
So
Okay, well then never mind. I don't need a new
Never
putter.
have too many putters.
I know. I can't. You know
Many.
what? It's because I don't want to be a Paul.
I was gonna say, boy, I've
I'm
got
trying
a
to
lot
avoid
of
the Paul syndrome.
there's a lot of hypocrisy built into what I just said.
Paul.
No, so but my situation, I'm going to try to be fair to myself. I had an old school, as a second generation ping answer that I played all through college and played for years as an amateur player and loved it. And along the way, I remember exactly where and when, and gosh darn it, I lost it. I
Oh.
left it on the side of a green. I was chipping and putting, and time to go. I walked off and I left my putter there.
Oh no!
And
And somebody picked it up
Never been able to find it. I've never been able to find one that fits my hands,
like that one.
fits my body and my eye like that old putter. I've been trying to replace it now for several years, and it's been a struggle. And I search and I search. So yeah, I have a lot of putters.
Well, you know, I'm pretty happy with my equipment, so I'm really an apparel person. You can never have enough equipment.
I will default to keep continuing the search on a putter
Okay.
rather than getting a new shirt. I have shirts.
Okay, you do have lots of shirts and hats.
But it is really cool. The point here for Uinta, though, I mean, here we're talking about all this different stuff, Mike, and the catalog shows this. It puts it on paper. You guys cover the whole gamut, whatever you want.
Clubs, shoes,
Yeah,
apparel.
one thing I do want to mention, like, not every store is going to have every item that's in that catalog. I mean, one example is like G4 apparel for ladies and men for that matter, but it's in the catalog, but it's not something that we carry at Uinta Golf, but
So they can get it
Worldwide Golf
online.
Shop catalog. Yeah, online, or we can transfer it from another location that's out of state and bring it into store so you can try it on, see if you like it. If not, no big deal.
All right.
And then one couple of golf ball deals I just want to get through real quick.
Yeah.
The new Callaway and TaylorMade, their premium golf balls with Callaway Chrome 4, Chrome Tour X, and Chrome Soft. TaylorMade TP5, TP5X. They're buy 3 dozen, get 1 free. And that's going to be going on for probably about 6 weeks, I think. So it's a good time to stock up on your golf balls for the season. Jan, that might last you like 2 seasons.
It probably lasts me about,
Paul?
yeah, it probably lasts me a couple seasons.
Paul and I, that might last us about a week.
Yeah, well,
I'm still on my first sleeve of the 2 boxes of TPXs I bought on sale,
Oh, nice.
so I'm good.
Okay.
I try not to lose balls. It's a thing.
All right, Mike, thank you for joining us, folks. Uinta Golf, there's 5 of them around the state in Riverdale, Sugar House, Sandy, Orem, and St. George. So there's one in your pathway. There's one near you. Uinta Golf. Go check them out. Thanks so much for joining us, Mike.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, so interesting what we're going to talk about next. It
Yes.
might a little bit off of what we have done in the past, but here's the drill. Britt Butoff, the head chef at Jeremy Ranch. We're going to talk a little culinary stuff here because Britt got himself a gig jam at the Masters.
Who does that?
Britt Butoff.
All right.
We've got Britt when we come back on the other side. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. That means Utah Golf Radio coming to you live today from the beautiful downtown studios of ESPN 700, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. Paul and Jan in studio with you. We are in the mothership. And we are, the second hour of the show is brought to you by College Coaches Connection. Check them out at collegecoachesconnection.com. This innovative program will help the kids in your life get the right situation in their college career, collegecoachesconnection.com. And we are powered, as always, by T-Box at tbx.golf. T-Box, where you can get the whole golfer experience with clubs, coaching, and community. Go to a T-Box near you. We are joined now, Jan, by Britt Butoff, the head chef of Jeremy Ranch. We haven't had a chef on the show yet, Britt. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy to be the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess why would you have a chef
I was
on
gonna
here?
say.
I should note, our producer, Zach Robinson,
also
is a
a-
chef
is-
also. You're a sushi dude, Zach. So we are covered with guys who can cook it up. We appreciate it. Well, do you cook sushi? You don't cook.
You don't cook.
Well, my first chapter was actually sushi for Naked Fish Japanese Bistro and Hoppa Grill or Sushi Blue for Bill White in Park City.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Okay.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of my, my brand of sorts is Asian Confusion at Jeremy Ranch. We have a lot of really fun Korean/Japanese, just trying to keep it interesting for them up there and having a good time doing it.
Wow. Okay. So,
Where did that influence come from?
I was in college washing dishes, and I'm a military brat, and
Okay.
a Korean guy who worked there had lived nearby us when I lived in Korea when I was 12, 13, and 14, and he was a sushi chef, and he looked at me and said, "You're Captain B's son." And I said, and I didn't know anybody, and it was the most confusing thing ever, but they had an apprenticeship a couple weeks later, and he had a really good sound advice for me, and that was, you've been saying yes, sir, your whole life. Just change it to yes, chef, and you'll be just fine. And so I've been kind of cruising and with that discipline for a long time now, and kudos to my father for that early discipline in life, and the strict kitchens I were a part of after that were pretty easy.
that is great. One of the things I did want to understand was your path to get to this. Now, first of all, we need to do some context. Why are we talking to a chef? Okay.
Oh, man.
Now, I love to eat when I go to the golf courses, and I've had some great food at Jeremy. I didn't know you were in charge of making it. Let me just say thank you.
You're very welcome.
But, Britt, you have the gig of gigs coming up.
Yes, sir.
Tell us all about what you'll be doing a month from now.
I think, I'm very proud to say I'm the newest member of Augusta National's culinary team. I will be the sous chef in the founders room of the clubhouse, feeding previous champions and members of Augusta National this coming April 2nd through the 12th, I believe.
Wow.
Can we just pause
Yeah.
on that for a minute?
That is so ultimately
Past
cool.
champions of Augusta. Oh my gosh.
I
Please.
know, it's hard to believe. I'm giddy about it still. I watched the Masters with my 10-month-old daughter this morning. I'm just super giddy about it, and I think it's a great opportunity, not only for me, but for a club like Jeremy Ranch, who's going through a course renovation this year. We're looking to elevate the member experience quite a bit, and I'm in this for quite a few reasons, but I'm so excited.
That is so cool. You're going to get to feed Mike Weir. Tell him hi for us. Nick Faldo, who works with T-Box. This is so cool.
So will you be
I know.
will you be preparing the dinner?
I think I've had a few insights into what the job entails. As you can assume, it's pretty, they keep it pretty tight. So there's a few things I can and can't say, but I
Okay.
think there's been some, a little bit of rumor that my position will be in charge of the brigade that services the previous champions, and that includes the dinner. And
Oh,
I
I wonder what. That's what I meant by the dinner. I wonder what Rory is going to serve.
right, and I don't know how all this works. I'm genuinely
You probably don't know.
excited
You
just
probably get an
wa-
envelope slipped under your door at the hotel that says
Right.
"Burn after
Yeah,
reading."
like some agent's gonna show up at my door with an earpiece on here.
I
pretty
wouldn't
soon.
be surprised. It is the Masters.
It's getting, the process is lengthy. They've done, it's been in process since September and then January was the official offer, and the boards of Jeremy and everybody's been incredibly supportive. We just had to make sure we had our T's crossed and our I's dotted, and we went public with it Monday, and now here I am talking on ESPN radio.
Oh my
That is so cool. We'll want to have you back
Oh, yeah,
after,
we wanna hear all
after the
about it.
experience to hear all about it, and especially if you are involved in the Champions Dinner. Now that's kind of a double secret sort of event,
Yeah.
but nonetheless a lot gets
Every-
out
yeah,
about it each year.
I mean, the menu gets printed before
the
the
menu
dinner.
gets publicized before, so we'll know what Rory
Yeah.
chooses, what he
Yeah,
goes
we always
with.
do it at Jeremy. We do a version of the Masters dinner.
Okay.
And which is exciting. There's a few things I've learned, and I take pride in myself in being a Masters expert because I'm just such a big fan and never won lottery tickets. But on Sunday afternoon, every previous champion gets to bring a foursome of their choice. And it's usually, friends because they have family outings and things for the previous champions. But Sunday afternoon is a special event, the weekend before the Masters, so that's after ANWA finals, which I think is pretty cool. And then those are my first 2 days solo with my brigade, are Saturday and Sunday for the Augusta National Women's Amateur. And then Monday is the drive, chuck, and putt finals.
Mhm.
And then it just goes straight into Masters week after that. But I will say they are putting your boy to work. I am. Some of these days are 5:30 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. and they're probably 6 in a row. And then I get a break with a small 12-hour shift the next day. But it's been something I've worked really hard for. And when you commit your life to something like this, the work is going to be the easy part. I just got to work on not yapping so much and trying to keep my mouth shut.
Most good chefs, and this is beyond my knowledge base pretty quickly, but I know that most have something they're really good at. For me, it's peanut butter toast. I make really good peanut butter
Oh
toast.
my goodness.
But
I'll take you up on that.
dude, hey, we'll do it because later I'm going to ask you if we can get together and get some of what you're making at Augusta. But
Yeah,
anyway,
let's do that.
what are you best at? What in
I
your
think
cooking
yeah.
game?
I think it's an Asian influence on like classic French or Italian techniques and kind of blending the two. And after you learn so many different styles and techniques, you can kind of, observe and figure out which ingredients you can swap out. And I think, honestly, the executive chef of the clubhouse operations at Augusta is a guy named Harrison Tobin, who worked down in St. George at a private down there.
I didn't. Okay.
You're right. And so we had met at a conference in Jupiter Island in September, a chef summit for executive chefs of private clubs, and he was there because a position in the clubhouse opened, and so he was accepting resumes. But we learned in that event that he had the first menu change in Augusta National in 18 years, and it was a seared tuna salad. I think some of my Asian influence on my menus and all of those things kind of helped me kind of into the clubhouse, but I definitely lucked out going clubhouse versus tournament. I enjoy a pimento cheese sandwich, but I don't think there's a lot to learn in that format.
No, I was just gonna say
They're
they have
simple.
to.
They're simple.
I was gonna ask that. You are doing the good cooking, not the assembly line. Those are assembly
Yeah,
lines.
and
That's not
I'm
cooking.
appreciative of it all. I
Yes.
think at some point in my life I would have very much enjoyed that and learned a lot there. But I think, I've
You're-
seen a great golf tournament. I've provided for them, and I think I'm most excited to see the paperwork and just the overall
Oh,
dynamic of
interesting.
how they change it from how does the prep list look? How do the schedules work? I remember Augusta at Jeremy is, a fraction compared to the Masters, but it's still a lot involved, and I know we can get better with a lot of things, and I'm just real excited to, eyes open, ears open, and just kind of take what I can see and bring back home.
so interesting. Interesting that you had mentioned the seared tuna salad. Now, I've had that. The seared tuna salad has made its way to the menu of the restaurant in the media center, which is actually one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten.
I know. I don't.
It's so
yeah,
good.
it's crazy.
Amazing.
but I've had that, and it is such a good dish. I've had it more than once, shall we say.
Okay, so Britt, let me also tell you that Paul Pugmire is also the winner of the media tournament
No, I did at Augusta.
at Augusta.
Well, what I did, there's not a tournament. What there is,
Not a tournament. It's a media event. Yeah, you go.
So there's a lottery that is held each year at the Masters for the people who are there covering the Masters on the accredited media. And there's a couple thousand people there. It's a big deal. They pick 24 in a lottery, and there's 6 foursomes who then get to go out and play the golf course Monday following the tournament, and they leave the pins in the Sunday set. And I hit on the lottery one year. It was the year John Rahm won. I hit on the lottery. I got to play Augusta National, and yeah, it was a lifetime. I won because I was there. I shot 83. There's
Let's go. That's great for that course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But just the experience you had.
The experience, yeah, could have been much better. Yeah, that's what we always say, right? But there were some great things there. I did a podcast about it. If people are interested, I've got a shot-by-shot account.
Yep.
I will tell you the big lesson I learned coming away from that too. Number one, as much as it's different seeing Augusta National in person versus on TV, it's different still seeing it from walking the fairways to seeing it from outside the ropes. It is a different look and a different experience from the fairway, from the middle of the fairway, from the middle of the hole. And then the other biggest lesson is that at Augusta National, a good shot is not good enough. Augusta National rejects good shots. It is only great shots are good enough at Augusta National.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one of these days, or one of these years, I'll be able to enjoy something like that. I committed to a long-term position in the clubhouse, and I love that they want to see the same faces every year. So that's another big bonus, is that it's an annual position. And I told them, if I'm done cooking professionally, you're still going to need to kick me out of here because I'm keeping my spot. Good luck with that.
Good on you, man. Good on you.
That is so exciting. You're going to be on tilt from the moment you get there.
Oh yeah, it's going to be hard. As to the members of Jeremy Ranch know, I talk a lot, and I am. I think that's going to be the challenge, is just to kind of not want to talk to everybody. But I'm just so excited about the job at hand, and focusing on a lot of things, and that includes that paperwork I was talking about. It is extensive. They use adjectives like precise and things that
things that chefs are a little bit weird about.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, they're just precisely managed, and they use that term a lot. And a lot of things like anticipatory dining, where they know who's coming, and they have notes words on them, and all
anticipatory. I like that word.
Yeah, right. That's a big word. I try to use words I can't spell, so I had to dig that one.
I do like that one.
But all in all, it's a win-win for everyone, and I'm excited to get back and share those thoughts. And we'll have a small event for the members at Jeremy to do.
Oh, and you're going to reproduce the dinner.
Oh yeah, all of it. I'm just so excited, and I've been at this a long time, and I think I can only push myself so far watching Instagram and feeding off other chefs, but injecting myself into a world-class function is an experience I won't be able to get anywhere else. So
no.
Blessed and lucky, or lucky is a bad word because I think I deserve this. And
yeah, you do.
Yeah, lucky.
I think.
Hey, people don't. The culinary ride. My former husband was a chef, and the culinary path is difficult, and you work a lot. You work hard. You work every holiday. You don't have a holiday off. You don't see your family a lot of times. I mean, because every event that everyone wants to celebrate, you're cooking.
Exactly. We're always trying to make memories for other people.
Exactly.
And I think that's my wife and I have a 10-month-old, and leaving them for a couple of weeks but as my wife, we understand what the job is.
Yep.
However, it's my goal to make sure that we have our own special days and celebrate other times.
Yep.
And I just couldn't do it without the support of my wife, my family, the members of Jeremy Ranch, and the board especially for making these opportunities happen. And I'm looking forward to taking advantage of them for sure.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And
Congratulations.
so absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate the kind words.
Congratulations.
Paul and
This
I
is
are
great.
also available for that dinner when you come back. I'm just
You got it.
saying
I'll
it
be
out
sure to reach
loud.
out.
I'm just saying it out
Yeah.
loud.
Well, and
Well, I definitely see most UGA guys at the club for Member Day, and I donate money every year trying to qualify and shoot $1 million every time. But I'm going to continue to do that again this year and hope to at least qualify for something.
you know, one thing that certainly comes to mind, Britt, as we talk about this, is the importance of and the significance and impact of Jeremy Ranch in the Utah game.
Mhm.
It is a club that matters. It is a championship facility that matters,
It is.
and has hosted several really meaningful championship events at Jeremy Ranch. And this just continues that pattern in a way that I didn't anticipate, but now that it's here, it just makes total sense to me.
It really does.
It
I
does.
think that
It does.
reconstruction, I mean, Jake Hanley and what he's doing
Yes.
with the golf community at Jeremy Ranch is, I've been a part of a lot of great clubs and seen a lot of good ones, and the golf in itself, I mean, our club champ shot 67 twice, 2 days in a row from the back at Jeremy on a
Wow.
windy day, and I don't think a lot of people know how difficult that is, but
We
you know,
do.
There's a lot of good golf in Park City, and some of it can be unfair at times if you don't get to play there a lot. But I think Jeremy, for what it is a straight up golf course. There's penalties everywhere. If you play good, you score good. If you don't, you don't. And watching the club evolve into this new chapter of its life and being a part of it is a blessing and something I'm really proud to be a member of. And I couldn't thank Jake and the support and my colleague Lucas, our GM Brian. We've all got our sights on one thing, and that's 2027 being the best year in the club's history and with a brand new golf course. So
Yeah.
that'll be incredible.
And we are so looking forward to that. And like I say, this just absolutely fits what Jeremy is and what Jeremy needs. And I am
think so too.
I am proud of you, and I'm so glad you're doing this. I think it's so
I know.
cool.
I'm so excited to see what the menu is, and then I get to know that we know someone who's preparing that
Somebody.
dinner.
Yeah.
You got it. You guys are more than welcome to come dine with me anytime you like.
You
Oh,
got
I'm
it.
in.
Be,
I'm
be,
in.
be careful what you say, Britt.
Hey, no problem. It's all. And then just give me a chance to take a little bit of that money of yours this summer. And
You got it.
we'll,
You got it.
we all got stuff.
We're going to be there. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us today. And
welcome,
good luck. Have a great time,
Yes.
man.
Make memories.
Hey, thanks so much. We'll talk soon.
We will. That is Britt Butoff, the head chef at Jeremy Ranch, on his way to Augusta, Georgia, to Augusta National, to be the chef in the founder's room at the Masters.
That is special.
Bam! That is so cool. All right. Let's talk about somebody who needs some relief. I Need Relief, brought to us by our good friends at Duro Health. Check them out at durohealth.com. This innovative back treatment and therapy program will help you swing faster, hit farther, play better, feel better. durohealth.com. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Duro Health. And I'll tell you who needs some relief, Jan. Shane Lowry. Oh my goodness. Did we ever think we would see a player, an elite top-tier player of this caliber of Shane Lowry, absolutely implode coming down the stretch in a golf tournament? Last week
It
at
was
Cognizant,
so hard to watch.
it
I mean,
was
he's in the lead. Everything was
painful.
great. I was so excited, and then
oh,
that water, and then
oh,
I can't.
on the 16th tee, he has a 3-shot lead. Walking off the 17th green, he is down 2. He goes double-double, and what I will tell you is that double-double is only good at in and out.
Mm-hmm.
It
You
is.
cannot win a PGA tournament. Cannot win a PGA tournament, except for Rory McIlroy did it with 2.
Oh, it can be done. It has
But-
been done. But coming down the stretch,
But this is, I mean,
coming down
how
the
do you?
stretch,
I mean, it just
Shane Lowry.
the wheels just came
came
off.
off. They went flying off in different
Oh my
directions.
gosh.
Actually, both the wheels went flying hard right.
Oh my god!
This
I know
was-
they did.
This was wide right, way beyond any kicker from Buffalo. He blew it into the right water on
He
two holes in a
only
row.
had to shoot par.
He
Really
makes
had-
he makes bogeys
Yeah,
and he's in a playoff.
But he's still in playoff.
yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway,
Poor Shane.
I do want to give Shane props. He showed up like a man
Yeah.
in like a grown up in the media room afterwards. He wasn't happy about it, but he did it, and he did it with professionalism, and I admire him from that. Plus, the very next week at the Arnold Palmer, Thursday morning, he pegged it and tried again.
Yep.
But holy cow, that was tough. Let's talk about somebody on Says. On a Says, brought to us by Copper Rock. Jan, do we love Copper
We
Rock?
love us in Copper Rock.
Love
We're so
us
excited to
Copper
be
Rock.
there next week.
We're
too.
going to be there next week. Copper Rock at copperrock.com. This championship golf course is accessible to you all, to us all. Check them out, copperrock.com. Get yourself a tee time. Go play copperrock.com. One thing I can guarantee is you will have fun. That golf course, it may kick your butt. It might. But you're going to have fun doing it.
Oh my gosh,
Copper
yes.
Rock is just, love Copper Rock. Okay. Who's on a Says? We're going with a little Kihei Akina on this one. Kihei, of course, playing in the Puerto Rico Open. Has not yet teed off. He's just on the verge of teeing off here for
Can we
round
see what
three.
the pairings are? Do we know who he's paired with?
Yeah, we could get to that.
Let
in
me
a minute.
look.
Yeah,
I'll look.
okay. Start digging on it. But Kihei Akina, for as we mentioned in the UPOD update, first two rounds at the Puerto Rico Open, he is T14 at the end. Well, they've moved a little bit. He was T12 at the end of two rounds, on shooting -6, 138 on rounds of 68 and 70. This BYU freshman, coming off becoming the second youngest winner ever of the Utah Open. He is in the top 20, in the top 15 going into the weekend on a PGA Tour event. Kihei Akina, he is on a Says. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we will continue our conversations with the inaugural inductees of the Utah Golf Hall of Fame. We will be talking with Ken Pettengill when we come back. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Utah Golf Radio. Coming back at you from the mothership. We are in the beautiful downtown studios of ESPN 700, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah, in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. This second hour of the show is brought to you by College Coaches Connection. Check them out at collegecoachesconnection.com. This innovative and impactful program will help the kids in your life find the right college for them to continue their golfing careers. collegecoachesconnection.com. We are powered as always by T-Box at tbx.golf, where they have cracked the code on the whole golfing experience. With clubs, coaching, and community, you need to get yourself to a T-Box, tbx.golf. We are happy now to continue our conversations with the inaugural class of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. We are joined now by Mr. Valley View, Ken Pettengill. Ken, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Paul. Great to be here.
We're so glad to have you with us, Ken. I've been looking forward to having this conversation, but there is no way we can talk to and about Ken Pettengill and not talk about Valley View Golf Course. You two are intertwined now and forever, and I want to know what that means to you.
Well, Valley View, I was a construction supervisor beginning in 1972, and was a construction supervisor over everything that happened there until 1975 when we opened the golf course, and then became the golf professional. So it's kind of like having another member of the family. And, you see it born, you see it develop, you see it get better, you see it, get some honors, and, it's really special to be able to be involved in something like that from the beginning, right from the beginning, groundbreaking right through, the end till retirement.
When you first connected with Valley View, and I want to hear the backstory on that, you of course were already so involved in Northern Utah golf coming out of high school, Weaver State, Davis Park, and I want to get your take on all that. But when you first went to Valley View as this newly developed facility, what were you anticipating at the time? Did you have any thought that it would become what it became?
Well, actually, as we built it, it was obvious that this was not going to be your normal Utah, public golf course, flat.
That's true.
Play. It really was going to be a challenge. And so, to begin with, we had a tough time getting people to come play it.
Really?
The reputation got out that it was really tough to play, and the greens were fast, and it was not your normal public golf course facility. And so our effort was right from the beginning to make some changes that needed to be made to make it more playable for the women and the seniors and the everyday golfer. We slowed the greens down just a tiny bit. They've always been fast. They've always been good. But we did slow them down a little bit and make it a little more playable. We built some tees that helped to make some of the holes more playable for the average guy. And my thought process right from the beginning was, hey, this can be a great golf course. It's just going to take some things to be done with it. We added a few bunkers to visually help a few holes, and just did a few things every year to try to upgrade it until we got that distinction of being in the top 75 municipal golf courses in the United States in 1984 from Golf Digest.
Absolutely.
Which was really a wonderful honor, and we got it again in 1988, and they changed the criteria and went to anything that was open to the public. Well, that means there's a lot of semi-privates that
Yeah,
came in
and-
there, and that
and-
kind of went away. But
And you get the resort courses at that point.
absolutely, exactly. And then it's a whole different ballgame.
That different. Yeah. But look, it does not change that Valley View is a player's course. I mean, that's what I think of it as. This is a course that
Always.
that good players play and good players want to play. And yet I appreciate and look, I love me some Valley View. I really do. I love how it's tough. I think it's completely fair. I think that its toughness is not tricky. I think it is well designed and well executed. I have never once, Ken, never once have I one putted on 17. But I know that that's on me.
Yep.
I get myself out of position time and time again, and it's on me. I know what I'm facing there. But I think the golf course is a combination of completely fair. It's in front of you. You can see it. There's nothing that's hidden. But it's tough, and I love that about it. And I love what you just said a moment ago about how you were cognizant of and intentionally made it a place that the not great players would want to play. Talk to us more about that, and because I think that matters.
Well, if you're going to be successful in the golf business, you've got to have rounds. You've got to have people there. You're not going to make it just on the best golfers in the state wanting to, every once in a while come play Valley View. You've got to establish a men's association, a ladies group.
Oh.
You've got to have those kind of players that come play, or you're not going to be successful. And we worked very hard at trying to make sure that we had a men's association that was very viable and enjoyed playing there. And we were able to do that right from the beginning. We had a strong men's association. Our ladies association started up not long after that. We had a very good, loyal group of women who played there, and they loved the golf course, and they loved playing team for us. And yeah, it's something you have to do. And we were just tried to make it so that we made everybody feel welcome, no matter whether they were, really good or maybe really bad. I only remember a couple times having to go down into number one fairway and asking a group that had never played golf if they would mind going to the driving range, and I'd give them free range balls if they just, go up and learn how to play for a minute before they went out on the golf course. But that was few and far between. We really had a wonderful time, and during the late 80s, late 80s, and through the 90s, we were very, very busy.
Yeah, it's funny not funny, but it's attention grabbing to me that you would start by mentioning your men's association. It is legend. It is on two counts. Number one, it is so big. It draws from a bigger area than Davis County. People come to play in the Valley View Men's Association. Plus, the other thing about it is the list of men's association champs, men's league champs, the list of players who play in it is a who's who of Utah golf.
It surely is, no question.
This was by design from the beginning?
Really good players there.
Yeah.
Pardon?
This was by design from the beginning?
Well, yeah, we knew it was going to be that way. I mean, when you have a tough golf course, just like you said earlier, good players want to play it. They want to test themselves. When you really want to find out how good you're playing, you come to Valley View.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we felt like Valley View was.
Yeah.
It was the ultimate test for the guys to come find out if they were really playing well, and I think that carried over for a lot of our men's associations. Played in state tournaments, and they won a lot of them because they were kind of battle hardened at Valley View.
That would be true. Let's just talk about some of the names coming out who participated in the men's league, men's association at Valley View. We've got Hall of Famer Todd Barker. There's Kurt Bowler, Brandon Keita, Kurt Owen, David Jennings, Reed Nielsen, Rand Sargent. Jan, have you heard any of those names?
I have.
Yeah, right.
I definitely have, yeah. So that's pretty amazing.
It is really something.
Yep.
In the career that you had there, like I said, you are so associated with Valley View, and Valley View is so associated with you. For the obvious and right reason. You were there from the beginning, and then you were there for a long, long time. How many years was it
Right.
totally?
Well, 72 to 2000 and end of 2007, so 35,
35 years.
and a half or so, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was a long time.
Tell
Great place to be.
tell us more about your path getting there. You went as a young man, but you already had some cred in the game. Tell us about that.
Well, I started. My neighbor worked at Oak Ridge in 59. The Utah Open was at Oak Ridge and Hidden Valley, and so they had a big field because they could split it into two golf courses, and they were short caddies. And the neighbor asked his brother, and his brother asked me if I wanted to go caddy in 1959, I think it was, at the Utah Open, and I did. And then I caddied for 5 years, then worked for Russ Mears in the bag shop for a year, and then Pierre Uwalde had been the assistant golf pro at Oak Ridge for a couple of years, and then he went up to Davis Park to help finish building that and became the golf professional. And Scott Whitaker and I and Steve Bennett started working there, I think, 3 days after they opened.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I worked there from 1964 to 1972 October when we broke ground on Valley View. So, yeah, the golf business, it's all I've ever wanted to do since I was young is be a golf professional or be a football coach. And I have a physical education degree in Weber State with an emphasis on coaching football, and so I got to help the Davis High football program for over 25 years back in the 70s and 80s and end of the 60s, and so I really had an opportunity to do both things that I loved that I wanted to do when I was growing up.
That is so
Of
interesting.
course, I played golf at Weber State.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that. Mac Madsen was a terrific guy and a terrific coach.
Yes.
We, brought Weber their first, conference championship in 1970, and then the assistant's job opened up at Davis Park that spring, just after we got back from the conference championships, and Pierre offered me the job, and I took it. So I didn't get to finish my golf career at Weber State. I just played 2 years, but I had the opportunity to turn professional, which is what I wanted to do. So that's where I went at that point.
Very nice. You mentioned the Utah Open. We've got to talk about you in the Utah Open. You had a couple of close calls, couple of high finishes. Tell us about that.
Well, I always say that Oak Ridge one year, I was definitely leading the entire field because I birdied the first 3 holes. So I don't think anybody else was 3 under after 3. But yeah, I've had some good rounds. I've had finished high in the Idaho Open a couple of times. When you're kind of nurturing a golf course, and you're trying to build a business at the same time, your golf game kind of takes a back seat, to what your livelihood's going to be. And so, yeah, my golf game at times was good, and I've had some good finishes and won a few, pro-ams, things like that. Been the guy that has been there at the front of the leaderboard a few times, but not very many, but enough to satisfy my golf ambition at that point.
That's really cool. One last thing I want to talk to you about before we let you go. The beat goes on. Your legacy continues in every way, including your name. Your son, Chad, of course, we all know him. He's a good friend and a great golf professional. He is the general manager at the Ledges in St. George. And Chad's son, your grandson, Tanner, is also following in your footsteps, pursuing a career as a golf professional, and he starts a new phase of his life up at Tuahey. as soon as they open this
Correct.
spring. So,
Yes.
tell us your thoughts on having your legacy continue like that, and your son and grandson following in your steps.
Well, I think Chad is the, you know, he's the epitome of somebody who wants to become a golf pro, then becomes that and becomes an exceptional golfer. To me, he is a much better golf professional than I ever was.
Oh my, okay.
And hopefully Tanner would ever, will follow in his footsteps. And it's a great legacy to have. Those who want to keep the name going in the golf business in Utah. It's great to have it, and I'm proud of it.
That is very cool. Well, we are so proud of you, the legacy that you leave on this course, this course of consequence. Valley View matters in the Utah game. It wouldn't be what it is without you, and we know that. We're grateful for that, grateful for you and your career, and we're really looking forward to the inauguration ceremonies and when it becomes official with you as a member of the Utah PGA Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that, Ken.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you so much.
It's an honor. You bet.
All right, Jan, that is Ken Pettengill, inaugural member, Utah Golf Hall of Fame, Mr. Valley View.
Yep.
So cool.
That's some fun.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Jan?
Ooh, you know what's next, Paul.
I do. It's What's Next segment, brought to us by our good friends at the Utah Golf Association. Stick around on the other side. We'll tell you what's coming up next in Utah Golf. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Yeah, Utah Golf Radio, putting a bow on the show, getting
Quick
you
update.
inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah. What were you saying, Jan? I'm
So
sorry.
let's do an update real quick.
Let's do an update on how Zach and Kihei are doing in Puerto Rico. What up, Jan?
Zach is currently on hole 4. He par, bogey, birdied number 3, so that puts him even for the day. So
Okay.
he's on 4. Kihei started with a par, and he is currently on the number 2 par 3, and we haven't seen what he's done yet, but he is sitting even for the day. But
All right.
he's only on 1 hole, but we're gonna watch him. It's gonna be great.
Hard the first hole. When is it on the Golf Channel?
It should have already been on. It told me it was going to be on at 7:30 this morning, so I thought we were going to watch it while we were doing the show. But apparently that's a no, because now they're showing the.
It's actually probably a pretty okay thing that it wasn't on this morning during
Yeah,
the show.
well, I know, because you would have been a mess.
I would have just been a mess.
I would have had to do this
Uh huh.
all the time.
Yeah.
Snap out of it.
It's a problem. Next week is Winter Champs.
Yes,
The
it is.
UGA Championship season gets underway next week at Winter Champs. This is a big deal. We love it.
Maybe that's why I
I
got
love
so
the
excited.
UGA
'Cause,
winter,
yeah.
the championships,
Well,
the season.
But the Winter Champs, it's almost like the Winter Champs is almost like the kickoff. It's like
Well,
the-
no, it's not almost. It is.
okay. Well, that's why
It-
that's
for
why I get so excited.
championship season.
Yeah, that's why I get so excited.
It is. Yeah, it is the first championship, UJ championship of the year, and it is such an interesting and engaging tournament. There's so many, men, women, age groups. There's so much going on all at the same time. 2 courses, the men and the women flip, playing the 2 courses on successive days, and it's a different format. It's a Stableford format, which I think is good
I
to do
love
early
that.
in the year.
We do that.
We
If Girls Go Golfing
Okay,
does that
good.
on our first tournament, we absolutely do.
Yeah, of
Stableford.
course. Yeah, it's
Yep.
a great way to start the year off.
Yep.
And it means that the championship season has begun, and so what that means is we are on a pathway to the State Am. We are on a pathway to the Utah Open. We are on
My new
championships.
client I played golf with, he is actually a good golfer. He's playing in Winter Champs this year.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Winter Champs next week. We
Everybody
will be there.
plays.
The,
It's great though.
except me.
Except for you, you don't get to.
No, I don't get to. There's a funny backstory on that, but the upshot of it all is that
You
the
can't.
radio show and the Winter Champs in particular is not compatible. But that's all right. I choose the show. We will be there with the show. We will be live from Copper Rock next week with Winter Champs. And then, of course, we will have a full report on the podcast.
Podcast.
We will have a full podcast report next weekend coming up
What else
as
is
well.
coming
The
Hey, did everybody remember to register to their Dixie
I was just
Red
going to
Hills?
say Red Hills. Too late to register.
Too
I
late.
didn't even look, and yet I know it's full.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a
You're not
chance to
gonna
get
get in.
in. So, hope you got in. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. The Utah Golf Pass is produced each year by the Utah Section PGA is on sale now. Go to utahpga.com to get your golf pass. There's just a whole bunch of discounts
Oh,
in
yeah.
golf, and there's just stuff. And you want
And
to
golf
get
is
yourself a golf
hard
pass.
and expensive.
Well, you can spend some money on it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, I mean, but the PGA Pass is really wonderful.
It's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Drive, Chip, and Putt registration is now open. DriveChipandPutt.com. And so get your kids registered for Drive, Chip, and Putt. And I want to take a quick minute and wish happy birthday to Beth Harmon and Caroline Conrad of the First Tee staff. Oddly, they were born on the same day. Today is birthday for Beth and Caroline. I'll tell you, we could not do at First Tee what we do, how we do it without Beth
Without
Harmon
them.
and
They're
Caroline
wonderful.
Conrad. All right. This is Paul Pugmire saying thank you all for listening and being a part of Utah Golf Radio today, and reminding you to do not jab it like jam.
This is Jan Brownstein reminding you to chug it, don't pug it.
Always good advice. Please replace your ball mark, replace your divots, fix your ball marks, and for Andy Curtis, don't spit sunflower seeds on the green.
Stop it.
You are listening to Utah Golf Radio, powered by T-Box on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network.